course, we have to talk about the big news over the last 24 hours as that leak happened. I'm sure you guys have all already heard. This was a text thread on Signal that somehow had our top security advisors, our top team, and added to that was the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic. Is that correct?
That's right, yes.
Yeah. So
Jeffrey Goldberg. So
that happened, and he waited till after, then reported it, showed the screenshots, and then the fallout happened from there. How did it happen? We're not sure. We don't know all the details yet. Currently, right now, there is a hearing right now that was already scheduled. Will told me this, already scheduled an intel hearing with all the national security advisors. And of course, this is starting to come up in that conversation of what that's going to look like. What are the ramifications? There's a lot of talk on Mike Waltz, who again, it may have been that he was to blame for this situation. President Trump, though, has made a statement about Mike Waltz. I'm sure that he was talked to. I'm sure this was a discussion that happened.
It comes from President Trump to NBC News that Michael Waltz has learned a lesson and he's a good man. And also that he expressed confidence in his team and said he was not frustrated by the events leading up to the Atlantic story. He said there was the only glitch in 2 months, and it turned out to not be a serious one. So he is standing by his team as the Democrats are like sharks circling, feeling like this is their moment to try and capitalize.
Now, if we're going to glean anything good off of this, if you read the text messages, the first thing I told Will here was, you know what I like to see? I like to see that these departments and these people are all actually working together and have a cordial relationship and having interesting conversations, are batting around ideas, are discussing plans in a way that I don't think is very Washington. And that's what helps. Look, you're going to have the negative, which is stuff like this is going to happen. But the positive is we can actually look and see on the record that this group of people, a lot of them under the age of 45 years old, are having real discussions and conversations like you or I would about the protection of our country. I don't disagree, by the way, this is a major security blunder. I think it's something we have to treat seriously and look at it. Now, the content that was shared was not deemed classified.
As well as that a lot of people are trying to point out that how dare they use Signal, that this was actually put in place by the Biden administration.
Yeah, it was
that this
preloaded.
was, and I want to hear from the CIA director, John Ratcliffe, about Signal specifically. This is Bite 8.
So that we're clear, one of the first things that happened when I was confirmed as CIA director was Signal was loaded onto my computer at the CIA, as it is for most CIA officers. One of the things that I was briefed on very early, Senator, was by the CIA records management folks about the use of Signal as a permissible work use. It is. That is a practice that preceded the current administration to the Biden administration.
Mistakes do happen. I hate to tell you, and look, sometimes there are consequences for your mistakes, of course. However, you may remember during the first Trump administration and during the Biden administration, they weren't mistakes that were leaked. There were just intentional leaks, a lot of intentional leaks coming from people like James Comey, who was sending out information to the press to get his message across. And how was he held accountable? He was not. Is it a double standard? Sure. Do I think people should be held accountable for mistakes? Absolutely. But let's not pretend that either side is holier than thou in that sense.
It's clearly an unfortunate error that occurred, but it's clear it wasn't classified information. And the Democrats, they have nothing left. And so they're trying to create drama out of this. I think that's a very good point. We have seen purposeful leaks from the other side, and this was clearly an inadvertent leak. And the difference is enormous. And I think that the public sees that. And the president of the United States said, look, it was an unfortunate glitch and we're moving on. And that's exactly the way to handle it.
We are so excited to announce the ACLJ's brand new app, completely redesigned to provide you with the best tools available to partner with us at the ACLJ. You can watch the daily Secular program, sign the petitions, customize your ACLJ membership experience, donate with the click of a button, and receive up-to-the-minute critical updates that the mainstream media can't censor. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to your phone's app store, search ACLJ, and click install. It's that simple.